Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and as you can see, our friends at Zemismart surprised me with another piece of kit that we can play around, and this is the Zemismart M1 hub. And you know what it shows on the top, it's that this is a Matter hub, but in fact it's a Matter and the Zigbee hub, and it works with Tuya, but then it can also integrate with Alexa, Google Home and Apple HomeKit as well. So I think this is a fairly interesting device, and it could be interesting for a lot of people because, well, first of all, if you are not committed to any of these big networks like Alexa, Google or HomeKit, or maybe you live in a region where they are not sold, or you just don't want an extra, speaker or something around your house, then you can have this hub, because then this is going to be your thread border router, so you would be able to connect Matter devices to it. And since you have a hub, and if you want to have some Zigbee devices, you can use for Zigbee as well. And then you can control your stuff over Tuya. So what we are going to see is that if you want to use Tuya, then what does it look like? And I'm going to show you a couple of Zigbee devices that are paired. So you can see like a door sensor, motion sensor, temperature sensor. And I have one of my Zemismart ZML2 bulb, which I received a couple of months ago, and I did a video on that. And that is Matter compatible. So I have paired with this device as well. So it's all good because you only have to buy one hub, and then it supports Zigbee or Matter or Thread, so all of these main protocols, so you can easily match and mix various products from different vendors and use them with a single hub. But the other interesting use case is that I already mentioned, that it can integrate with Alexa or Google or Apple, and it integrates using the Matter protocol. So what this device does is that it's going to share, or you can pair this device with your Alexa, Google or HomeKit network as a Matter device, and through that connection it can share all the devices that are connected to it. And I'm a little bit confused about that, because then, I already did it with my Google Home, and in my Google Home, devices such as the motion sensor and this sensor appear. And the reason I'm a little bit puzzled or confused, because my understanding was that the Matter protocol or the Matter specification so far only supports switches and bulbs. So I don't quite understand how these things are working, and if they are working in Matter, why I'm not seeing more of these devices. They are genuine Matter devices, but maybe I just misunderstand something. But anyway, it works. So, these Zigbee devices appeared in my Google Home app. And if you would have Alexa, it would work the same way. And if you have HomeKit, you would work the same way. And to be honest, I know that the Alexa has a Zigbee radio built inside, so you can do it with Alexa directly. But for example, Google Home doesn't have a Zigbee device, so I cannot connect these Zigbee devices directly to my Google Home. But with this Zemismart M1, I can do that. And I think, I'm not exactly sure, but maybe that's the same case with Apple as well. So the HomePod doesn't have Zigbee built in, so you would need something like this if you want to integrate Zigbee devices as well. Okay, I think that should be enough for the introduction, so let's see this device and let's see what I have gotten. So the main thing is this Matter hub, and there is not much to say about it. It's just a box. On the top, if I can flip it over, yeah, so I have a reset button, a USB-C for charging, and a network. So you need a network connection because this device doesn't support Wi-Fi, but that's all you need. And in the box, there is a USB cable provided, USB-A to USB-C, but there is no power pack, so you have to provide your own. And the devices, these are just like a Zemismart motion sensor. This is all of them are battery operated, and this is a door contacts or door window sensor, contact sensor, and this is just temperature and the humidity sensor. And let me also quickly show you the listing, and let me just change the view so you can see the whole screen. So that's the device, and that's how much it costs at the moment, and there is also some sale which is happening at the moment. So for another 30 days, you can't see it from my face, but there is a promotion that they are running on the Zemismart website. I'm listing this from the Zemismart website, but you can, get it from various places, AliExpress, and I think probably Amazon as well. But I'm going to leave the links in the video description. And the only reason I wanted to bring this up because we can see some of these screenshots. It's easier to explain for some of the features. And actually, this is what I wanted to show you. So that's the block diagram that they did for how they plan this system to work. So you have the M1 router, and then it connects to all your Zigbee devices. Of course, these could be Zemismart ones. I've already reviewed quite a few of these. I mean, they look familiar for me. And also you can connect to Thread devices. And then, so this even if you have this much set up, then you can just do everything in Tuya. But then you can link it to Google Home, and you can link it to Apple HomeKit and Alexa as well, but they are not showing Alexa here. The one thing which is something that you have to be aware of is that you need to have a thread border router in the system. So you have to have one of the newer Google displays, or the HomePod, or the Alexa. Probably they have a lot of different products, Echoes, or one of their Alexas that functions as a border router. And actually, there is one more thing I wanted to show in the beginning. What I wanted to say in the beginning is as I said, the way I'm testing it is that I've connected a mix of Zigbee and Matter devices, and then everything works in Tuya, but as soon as I migrate it over to Google, or I share it with, not migrating, but sharing it over Google, it only brings the Zigbee devices over. So it looks like that, if you want to use Matter devices within Google, then you have to link them directly to, let's say, Google. And I'm assuming probably it works the same way in Alexa or in HomeKit as well. So if you want to use it with these systems, then only use this hub as a Zigbee hub. You will still need its special functionality to share its devices to a thread border router, but then any other Matter devices you have, you need to link them directly to the, as I said, HomeKit, Google, or Alexa network. Okay, and yeah, you need a network cable because it only supports network, and it talks about how you can share the device, but I'm going to show you that one as well. And then, as you can see, they have an example of an iPad HomePad screen, and then you will be able to control the devices that, for example, Zigbee devices that are connected to your M1. Okay, so let's see how it looks like, and I'm opening my Tuya first. So I'm going to go through the Tuya functionality first. So when you unpack the device, then you connect it to power and you connect it to the network, and then you have to press on the, I think I didn't even have to press on the plus button, because then Tuya automatically recognized that there is a new a new device on the network. I think there is an option here for gateways. So you can just go under gateway and select one of the gateways. I don't think it really matters which one you pick. But as I said, it was going through, it was recognized for me automatically. And by the way, you're not going to see that because the studio light is quite strong, but there are a couple of LEDs here. So when you power it up, it goes into pairing mode, but also you can press the reset button, which is on the back here, just to get it into pairing mode. And to pair it with Tuya, it's just the usual process. As I said, you click here, you select the device, you have to provide, you don't have to provide your Wi-Fi credentials because this is not Wi-Fi powered, so it makes the setup even easier. And at the end, you have a new device on your network, which is going to called, it's Zemismart M1 hub. I haven't really renamed it, and that's how it looks like. So it really just acts like any other hub. It doesn't really do anything. It just gives you the option to pair additional devices. And you can turn on the light indicator, which is somewhere here. It's very faint, it's very discreet. And then in the settings, actually I'm going to come to the settings a little bit later because that becomes important. And in order to link any devices, you can, well, first of all, you come to the sub devices and it shows you all the devices that are connected. So you can see the three Zigbee devices, 1, 2, 3, and then you can see the Zemismart light bulb as well. So the way you pair a new device is you click on device management, and you can first do a quick add. And this is like the Zigbee pairing. So now it is discovering nearby devices. So if you have a new Zigbee device, such as this one, then you get into pairing mode, like, you know, long pressing a button, or, well, each of them usually have a button that you can do, and then it's going to find a device as a new Zigbee device. So it's exactly the same process as any other Zigbee device on, Zigbee gateway in the Tuya network. But what you can also do is you can do this scan, code, and add. And this one is good for Matter, because all the Matter devices, they have a QR code. So you can scan that QR code, or you can enter the code which is on the device as well. So that's the process that I use to link the Zemismart Matter bulb, which you can see here. And I mean, this is just a pairing, and of course you can control it. You aren't going to see the light because it's further away, it's outside of view of the camera, but as you can see, the control works. And if I actually look back, then yes, I can see that the color of the light changes. So I can control it. I can control this Matter device through this hub on the Tuya network. And of course, well, I can't really control these devices. Oh, actually, I don't want, no. I don't want to test it. But yeah, they work. So that's my contact sensor or door sensor. And now it's open. Oh, and it has some, you know, stuff notification. But I mean, you can see a couple of, you know, logs. It shows the current status. I can quickly jump to any of the automations that I have created for this sensor, but I haven't created any, and I can, you know, do these reminders. I don't want these reminders to be shown, but, you know, at least I have a raw battery reminder, so that's nice. And it's pretty much the same for the others as well. I think, for example, this temperature and humidity layout is very similar to some of my other temperature and humidity sensors that I've seen in Tuya. And the only reason you are not seeing any data, because this hub was disconnected and I only reconnected it before I started recording. So it doesn't have an awful lot of history at the moment, but it will start drawing a graph based on the, you know, the temperature and the humidity reading. And you also have a PIR sensor, and yep, you can set a low battery alarm or a motion alarm, so the phone is going to send you notification messages. But really the main thing that you would do in Tuya Smart is, let me just go back to the main screen, is that you start creating smart automations, scenes. So you can create a scene like when the device status changes, and then, for example, you can set motion sensor when a PRI state detects a motion, or when the temperature and humidity sensor is above or below a certain temperature or humidity value, or what was the other one, the door contact sensor is either on or off. So that's the main uses of these. But of course you have access to all these devices and you can control them from the Tuya network. Going back to the hub, there is one more functionality which there's two more functionality actually here. So first of all, in the device management, I can also do migrate to other gateways. So, I mean, I'm using this one at the moment for testing. I don't have another one, but it looks like that you can migrate devices between gateways. It's cool. I'm not really sure how much I would use this, but that's a functionality, and actually this is a functionality that I haven't really seen before. But for me, the main attraction is this Matter integration into, Google, Alexa, or Apple. So the way this works is you start from the Tuya application. So you have to go through the Tuya setup. You have to add the Tuya, add the hub to your Tuya network, and also you have to use the functionality built in the Tuya to, to pair all the other Zigbee devices before you start, before or after you assign it to your, Google, Alexa, or Apple network. So you come back here and you click on the three dots to go into settings, and you have this option here to say share via Matter gateway. So what happens at the moment is this M1 gateway becomes a Tuya device. So now you have a code, or you can also change to a QR code. And now this is what you need to add in your Google, Alexa, or HomeKit application. So what I did, because I was using the same phone to add it to my to my Google, is that I copied this code and I switched over to my Google Home application. And here, if I go to devices, I have an add button here. And if you're using Apple HomeKit, then you have on the top, you have a plus button and you have add accessory. And from here, the process is going to be very much the same. For Apple, it's a much simpler process because it immediately gives you the phone screen in order to scan the QR code. In Google, it's slightly bit different. Well, I'm not going to say how it works in Alexa because I never use, so I have no idea. But then in Google, you have to click on New Device. You confirm your home that you want to add to. You have to wait a little bit here before it shows you a couple of options, where in that option, the top one is going to be Matter. So Matter enabled device found, and yes. And okay, that's the QR code. So again, on the HomeKit, you will get the camera as well to scan the QR code, but you can also click here to set up without a QR code. And that's where you paste in the number that was provided in the Tuya app. And of course, you follow the rest of the process. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it, so I don't want to do it twice. There's no point. So I'm just going to back out. And I'm going to show you what happened in Google Home. So I haven't really moved any of these devices, so you can see that it put them in your home. And you can see that all these devices appear here in my home, and we have one extra device because the temperature and the humidity sensor shows up as two different devices. So you can see here that I have a device which measures temperature. I have a device which measures humidity. I'm not really sure why this is not showing a humidity, but maybe we need to refresh it, and it's going to show you so the humidity is now here. And then we have a door sensor, so it is closed. And if I open it, then now it's open, and then it goes back to closed. And also I have the occupancy sensor. So that's sitting just right behind me. So it's obviously saying that the room is occupied. And actually, now I can, and this is the extra device that we see here is the hub itself. So you can't really do anything with this. It's just here. I mean, if you want to remove it, you can delete it, but you can't really do anything with that. And as you can see, the bulb itself is not here. So that's why I said that any Matter devices that you've paired in Tuya is, at least it doesn't come over to Google Home. And I was talking to Zemismart, and they confirmed that, for probably it's, because that bulb goes to my hub via Matter, and I'm sort of like resharing this device over Matter. So probably this double share doesn't work. So if I want to use it in Google, then what I would need to do is I go back to my Tuya, I delete that Matter device from the Tuya, and I re-add it here as a Matter device directly to my Google. I have a Nest Hub 2nd generation, which is my thread border router. So it's a little bit of, it's sort of, it feels a little bit backward, but maybe there is a limitation within the Matter protocol that it cannot be reshared, or credentials, whatever. It's a 90 thing, so that's how you need to do it. So if you just want to use Tuya, you can pair your Matter devices here. If you want to use Alexa, Google, or Apple, you pair them directly to those systems. and you only use your hub just for Zigbee. But that's it, it works. And I can also go into automation and I can create a new routine. So let's say a household routine, and the trigger would be when a device does something. And you can see that I have the occupancy sensor, the temperature and the humidity sensor, the door contact. This Matter device is the hub, so we are not going to use that. But let's say, you know, a temperature, a humidity changes, rises above. Well, actually the temperature is here. So again, you can see it rises above. What is this mode change? Yeah, don't use that. And contact sensor, when it opens or closes. Occupancy sensor, when it is occupied or non-occupied. So these are your triggers in the Google Home system. And of course, so you set these up, you specify these as the starter of the condition, and on the actions you can pick another device which say, you know, turn on your lights, turn off your lights, that sort of stuff. And it would be pretty much the same way how you would set up automations or routines in your Apple HomeKit as well. So I think that would be my Zemismart M1 Zigbee and Matter hub review. I mean, to be honest, I really like this device because it's Zigbee and Matter in a single device, so I don't have to buy separate hubs. And to be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Tuya Matter hubs up until now. Maybe this is the first one that I've seen. So, you know, 2-in-1, it's definitely a great single device if you want to use Tuya. But if you want to use any of the other systems, you know, Alexa, Google, and HomeKit that I mentioned previously, then it's such an easy way to integrate Zigbee devices to these networks. I mean, probably the only difficulty here is that you first have to, you know, do the setup in Tuya, and then at the end, sort of like link it into, let's say, the other three systems. But yeah, it's a bit of a hurdle, but otherwise, these systems would probably not support these devices at all. So that's the only way I see, at least for Google, and as far as I know, Apple, to integrate these, you know, readily available, really versatile, and you know, quite cheap Zigbee sensors to your home automation setup. So if you are interested in this device, I'm going to leave purchasing links in the video description. But that will be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.